Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine. So today we are going to begin with our next topic, Unit 4, 4.4, Home Sweet Home. Now this poem, Home Sweet Home, in this poem, the poet is very fond of his home and he remembers it with love when he is far away from it. So kindly remove your textbook, page number 95. See, here in these pictures are given the house pictures and your home pictures. That means in your village how the homes are there or how your house is there. So in this poem, here the poet is saying that how really he misses his home. Home sweet home. Mid pleasures and palaces, though may roam, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. A charm from the sky seems to hallow us there, which seek through the world is never met with elsewhere. Home sweet home, there's no place like home. Oh, there is no place like home. Now, here in this first stanza, here the poet he's trying to say is that though in the world we may even roam around some palaces and the pleasure filled palaces, there is no place like home. That means wherever you go in the world, how much of pleasure and peaceful might be any place or might be a palace also, but there is ultimately no place. However simple it may be, something magical from the sky seems to have made it holy. We cannot find this anywhere else in the world, however much we may search for it. There's no place like home, sweet home. And here the words being used is a mid, that means admits pleasure. And then uh, now here mid is been used as a shortened word of admits. And then he's telling that Rome and then home sound is a little bit similar, and to hollow. Here the word is used to hollow, that means to make it holy. That means a place which is completely pure and divine. So there is no other place except your home in the whole world which is as holy, which is as pure as your own home. An exile from home, splendor dazzles in vain. Oh, give me my lowly thatched cottage again, and the birds singing gaily that come all my that come at all my call. Give me them and the peace of mind dearer than all. Home, home, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Now here in this second stanza, the magnificence of the other places did not impress the poet. Whenever he is forced to be away from the home, he feels that no, something in my life is missing. That is the feelingness of your home. He longs for his simple thatched cottage where the bird sings gaily, very happily. Gaily means happily and merrily. And then coming to respond to his call, that means whenever he is trying to call, they just come in. And the poet longs for these birds. But most of all, he wants the peace of mind that he has when he is at his home. So here also rhyming words which is uses vain, again, and the splendor is known as a uh, it's magnificent also you can call it, and thatched cottage. It is a cottage with a roof covered with straw. Usually houses like this we can see only in the villages or the countryside you can call it. And here the word is also used as gaily, that means happily and merrily. And then he's trying to tell that he gets ultimate peace of mind only at his own home. See how he's dreaming in this picture that I will go to my home and then only I will be happy there. I gaze on the moon as I thread a dearer while and feel that my mother now thinks of her child as she looks on that moon from our own cottage dear through the woodbine. Those fragrances shall cheer me no more. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there is no place like home. So here in the third stanza, the poet is looking at the moon and he walks uninterestingly in some wild places. Wild places means he's moving here and there without any aim, and he feels that his mother is now thinking of him as she looks at the same moon from the door of her cottage, and he remembers the woodbine, the plant whose sweet, pleasant smell can make him happy no more. He again longs for his home. That means he is really, really missing. This is his home. And then again, here it is being repeated. For example, home, 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 sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. In this, it is the form of the repetition because the words home and home is being repeated, and then here the full sentence is being repeated. So it is a repetition. Now, coming to the fourth stanza, how sweet 'tis to sit beneath a fond father's smile, and the caress of a mother to soothe and belie. Let others delight mid new pleasures to room, but give me, oh give me, pleasures of home, 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 sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. So here also in this stanza, the poet is really missing his home and he remembers his father and says that it is so sweet to sit under the fond smile with his mother's loving touch, comforting and then distracting him. He says, let the others roam around the new places with the delight, but he wants only the pleasure of his own home. To thee I will return, overburdened with care. The heart's dearest solace will smile on me there. No more from that cottage again will I roam. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. By John Howard Penney. Now, here also the poet in the final stanza, he is telling that his home that he will return to is full of, see, might be however you are, might be wherever you are, might be full of worries and troubles where are there, but then also he will be fully comforted and he will have the complete peace of mind only when he is again back to his cottage. However simple and then inexpensive might be, though the home might be very very simple and not very expensive also, but then also he wants to be only at his own home and nowhere else. So he is really really missing his home, and this poem was being written at the time when the war was going on and the soldiers were not being allowed to move from one place to another place, and so Everybody was being missing their home and their family members. And coming to the meaning, woodbine, it is a sort of the climbing plant with a pleasant smelling, and it has yellow flowers. And caress, a light and a loving touch of mother. He's really, really missing that. And the Sudhi is that form of the comfort which he will get only when he reaches his home. And Bigul means he's tempted to go home. And solace means again solace, Sudhi, comfort, these are all synonyms. Ultimately, the message given by the poet is that he is really, really missing his home. And it is really the experience of all of us that however we go out for many years also, if you go out, then also ultimately you will feel that what that at the end of the day, even in even commonly also, if you see that when you go for a picnic or some excursion or field trips, what happens when at the end of the day you feel tired, you feel that now I need to go to home. So the ultimate peace of mind and the comfort zone is only your home, that is your sweet sweet home, however it might be made, however it might be small or a big, or it might be very very simple, but everybody likes to have comfort and peace of mind only at his sweet sweet home. Now see, uh, many times now we don't realize this fact unless and until we just leave home for some time and then we are expected to come back. And so here the poet ultimately says that whatever palaces you give me, whatever pleasures you give me, places, pleasurable places, then also I would like to go back to my home. And then, however, his house is simple, then also he wants to go back to his house only. And then he really misses his mother and the father's smile, and and he says that ultimate peace of mind will be only at his home. And here he has used the alliteration and then the repetition as the figures of the speech. Now, for example, home, home, sweet home. This line he is repeating again and again. Okay, so here it is exclamation also, and then it is also repetition. And then there is no place like home. It is simile. He's comparing that no other place is like his home, so it is simile. And then he has also given you uh, the rhyming words, the smile, begul, roam home, and roam home, smile, begul, and care there, as you all can see here. And then the rhyming scheme of the, see, these are the rhyming words and the rhyme scheme. See, roam, home, there, elsewhere. Okay, so roam, home, A, B, B. And then coming to this one, uh, you have one more form of the of figures of speech. No more from that cottage again I roam. Now, if you look at this, no more from the cottage again I will roam. It is inversion form of the figures of speech. That is, the words are reversed or the words are jumbled and written. And the correct order will be, no more will I roam again from that cottage. So these are the figures of speech which are being used. That is the alliteration, your repetition, and then inversion and simile. Because no other place like home. See again, no other place like home. So it is simile. Simile and then home and home is repeated, it is what repetition. So I hope that everybody loves his home, however it will be, however it is. So if you like my educational video, students, kindly like it and subscribe it. Thank you children, and God bless you all.